Okay, this thing says I am live. We really need a better camera though. Alright. Alright guys. Get a better camera sooner than later. Thank you for tuning in, guys. And we are going to let me turn off these. I gotta turn it off, sorry. Do not disturb. Disturb. Okay, awesome. All right. So, good evening. What's the matter? Why does this look so close? All right. Don't I seem a little bigger today? Did my head blow up? Anyway. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to continue on with...
You are the one who is responsible for it.
We're going to
understand that the way to control what may happen to you involves several things. Thinking is a birthright. All
my
things
laptop's
have,
just freaking the hell out.
but not everything uses. Think about what you're doing before you do it. Know that you are a life force and have the powers of being one. These are and rooted in the God.
My laptop is frozen.
Monitor the
so we're focusing on, if I could tune this out anyway,
and dreams,
form of fashion. Okay, I could do it like that. So check this out. We're focusing on Pluto in the houses. And I think yesterday we went all the way up to the 6th house. And now we're going to continue on to the 7th house. Pluto in the 7th house. And what is the 7th house? First off, let's talk about Pluto. Pluto, as we spoke before, is a planet known to be in control of sex, death, regeneration. It controls your fears, your phobias. It controls the underworld, dark, mysterious, secretive things. It controls the mafia. You know, stuff that are very deep. Controlling any of that source, any of those. Sorry. Yeah, so any of those words can correlate. Yeah, you gotta watch the class before to get that. But don't worry. In this lifetime, there may be a possibility of you just turning into this very rich person through money. You could either have an all or nothing attitude towards it. But anyway, as we move on to the 7th house and Pluto. Pluto is death, destruction. It rules inheritance, the underworld. You know, there are other things that are associated with Pluto. Sense of control. It is a planet that deals with mass karma, meaning what you came here to do that will affect the people around you. So, you know, with Pluto, what is the 7th house? Since we're looking at Pluto in the 7th house. The 7th house is partnerships. It's your marriage partner. It's your sense of diplomacy. You know, I also equate it to be an area that deals with beauty as well. For very reason, people who have those placements normally have those traits. Yes, Amber, you are correct. Partnership. Oh, I answered it before you answered it. I should give you a chance to answer before I answer. Yes, if you're Pluto in the 7th house, you can have a controlling partner. Or there'll be some struggle when it comes to control in your partnerships. Pluto, what I've seen in that instance, you can have a very much powerful and magnetic partner as well. You have somebody who's very magnetic and draw people. This is something that, can happen as well with your Pluto. Another thing is, so let me teach you something, maybe a little bit before we go into the next semester. There's something called transits. And transits are where planets move in correlation to your houses in your chart. And if you have a Pluto transiting your 7th house, there are many things that can happen. You could experience a loss or death of a partner, or you can get married to somebody who's very controlling, manipulative, or that sort of nature. Either which way, Pluto, from a characteristic standpoint, not just an event standpoint, can make you to be somebody who can be very controlling in your partnership. You can be all or nothing in that partnership. Not just attract that partner, but you also have this in yourself. So you attract this partner because you yourself may have this deep down on the inside of you. Let's look at some people who have Pluto in the 7th house. Before we move on, you guys have any questions about Pluto in the 8th house? This should be a very interesting house for you guys. You should probably want to know, because everybody has Pluto transiting a house. Sometimes it could be your 7th house. And that can bring somebody inside your life as a partner that does that. Okay. So any questions? Shoot, so I'm saying 8th house is actually 7th. So I'd like to see all of us in class today. Please, show of hands. Who's here? Just say present, and we shall go further from now. So even if you were born with Pluto in a house, well, according to the other chart, progress chart, it would show where Pluto has progressed in your chart. And this would show me, describe to me how your life has progressed. But also, when a planet is transiting your natal chart, it brings an event into your life. So let's look at somebody who has Pluto in the 7th house. Top of the list, Barack Obama. Well, according to this, it's showing that. We all know Michelle don't play with that dude. But it's actually showing this inside the 8th house, not the 7th. You can get back down. So Rihanna has Pluto in the 7th house. We all know that she's normally attracted to men that are very much he may be obsessive of his partner, but I normally equate Pluto being into the 7th house, the 7th house representing the other person, the other partner, the partnership itself, which would mean that he would bring that energy. For some apparent reason, that would be the energy of his partnerships. Maybe another person has this. Mahatma Gandhi has Pluto in the 7th house. And he has it in the sign of Libra. See, Mahatma Gandhi was somebody who would put his life for something that was very diplomatic and connection to his people. Okay? Let me give you another example. That's pretty much, I don't know a lot about Mahatma Gandhi, so I want to go get with somebody who I know. You know, David Bowie has had Pluto in the 7th house. But let's look at somebody who we know. A very famous person. Whitney Houston had Pluto in the 7th house. Whitney Houston had Pluto in the 7th house. Now we all know that, but people say that she was more controlling than Bobby Brown, but we all know that she struggled with power and control in her relationships. She literally struggled from that. Her Pluto was sitting inside the sign of Virgo. Terribly sorry about that, guys. I'm back. Yeah, so Whitney Houston had Pluto in the 7th house. We all know that she got beat up. She would literally have black and blue. It was an abusive marriage. She was literally married to Bobby Brown, and that was a very much controlling, manipulative marriage. The energy of that marriage or that had to be subdued. If you get where I'm coming from. This is another trait of what Pluto does inside your relationships. And Pluto also rules your 7th house as well. You have Scorpio sitting on your 7th house. It also brings that there as well. Yeah, I mean, and I could say toxic, but yeah, mostly very controlling and abusive. Because, control can turn into abuse. Another person. So the question Ami's asking, so with being with those type of mate, did it cause them to change who they are to fit their mate's criteria? That can be somewhat very much a choice of the person. You're free will to either go with it or be like, you know what? I can't take this shit, I'm gone. So there's a difference, according to the person. You have, the planets don't compel, they impel, meaning you have the ability to make the difference, change that energy of that planet. Understand? Another person that has, do you get where I'm coming from with that? Oh. Yeah. Yeah, but what's on your 7th house? So answering Ambi's, it means that person brings that energy into your 7th house of partnership. It means also that you could have the possibility of bringing that as well. And that is compared if your 7th house ruler is in connection with Pluto. If Pluto is your 7th house ruler, then your partner itself will be very controlling. And there's a possibility with Pluto being there by itself that person will be controlling. But you only attract people into your life that you have on the inside. Because remember now, people are a reflection of who you are. They're drawn into you because of something you either repressed or you take advantage of. So it's the reason why these planets are in certain houses. Sharon, because your 7th house is empty doesn't mean that it's not affected. The ruler of your 7th house, if you're Libra rising, that means that your 7th house is Aries. And you have to look for Mars. And whatever Mars is doing, wherever Mars is, whatever aspects Mars has to it, it affects your marriage or your marriage partner. Now the person has I want to laugh, right? But guess what? They have the Virgin Mary, Jesus Christ, and they have the Antichrist having Pluto in the 7th house. Ain't this a mess? Antonio Banderas has Pluto in the 7th house. You know, I would die to be a fly to take a look at his life in relationships. So the question is, so with Whitney Houston Pluto being in the 7th house, is that why she couldn't live without Bobby? That's a good answer. I mean, question. Pluto does bring an obsessive. Yeah. Even when she was not with him, yeah, you're right. She had a very obsessive nature towards her marriage partner. You definitely touched the base on that one. I know, right? You know, Sheena, that's very, very ironic, right? But yeah, I don't think nothing is ironic. It is what it is. Jimmy Fallon has Pluto in the 7th house. It's another one I'd like to be a fly on the wall to see exactly what's going on in their marriage. You know, so Pluto, like I said, brings that energy. It also could experience the death of a partner. Yeah, that was a good point. It could bring anything that Pluto rules. It can bring into that. No, Gina, you the TMZ, you the TMZ employee. I swear, you the TMZ employee. You guys see how Pluto can bring what Pluto brings into your. Also, Pluto also brings a sense of fear. Because you fear not being a good marriage partner. You may lose that. Anything with Pluto, you lose. You literally lose that in order to gain. Remember now, Pluto in these houses makes you lose something. The question is, what about when malefic planets are in with Pluto? Well, that even makes it even more worse. If Mars is there, you get beat up, controlled. There's always arguments and fights. If there's Neptune there, you don't even know who your husband is. He could be a gay dude. He could be somebody who you probably thought you knew but don't even know. Uranus, this guy could be a rebellious person and probably be erotic. Doesn't even know, you don't know who to expect when you come home. You can expect, one day like, hey, what the fuck? What? And then be like, hey, honey, how's your day? And you just don't know what to expect. That's what Uranus brings. Uranus brings sudden and very much unpredictability in your marriage. So if those malefics are sitting with that, it even makes it even more worse. That's a lot of karma to have to pay. That's a lot of things to have to deal with. I think one of my students who is inside this class but don't really tune in much has all of these planets in the 7th house. That's Megan. And unfortunately, she's not really listening or watching. She'll understand this part whenever we reach to the 7th house of all the malefics that we've done, that it can be very, very hard on you. Now, if malefic is sitting like with Venus in a sign of Venus love, it softens the blow. Any other questions whilst we're on the 8th house? I don't know if it's like Tourette syndrome. I mean, like on different days, you just don't know who to expect. Okay, moving on to the 8th house. Now, Pluto is very much happy in the 8th house. Why? Because it rules the 8th house. It literally rules it. You see, it is very much the home of Pluto. So with Pluto being there, it isn't like it's, just like when you going home and you like, I can kick my foot up, I can relax, this is my home, I can do whatever I want. Whatever I do in my home, it stays here, and I gotta hurt my head about nothing. So it's the same way when it comes to Pluto sitting in the 8th house. Yes, it's comfortable in the 8th house. Let's take a look at some people. So the 8th house is what? Yes, sorry. I forgot that part. I'm terribly sorry. Ambi, I thank you and Google. I swear, I thank you and Google to the bottom and the depth of my heart. Yeah. So Pluto inside in the 7th house can also make you to have strong enemies. I'm talking about powerful enemies. Enemies that could probably bring you down. It doesn't go very well with you when it comes to courts, especially when it comes to lawsuits and stuff like that. Pluto in that house can literally not be so well for you in the 7th house. Another person has Pluto in the 8th house. Sorry, so the 8th house is sex, death, regeneration. It's other people's money, which means your partner's money. It represents, that could also mean banking. It also means taxes, the underworld, things that are very hidden, secret, or what you would people call the esoteric, deep waters. It rules psychology, going to the deeper part of things. To some point, it also rules surgery, because you gotta cut through something in order to get to something, and this is how the 8th house operates. It rules inheritance. It rules your sex drive and also your private part. Yeah, it does. It rules your private part. Sorry, I had to pull my finger. So a person like me can look at Pluto, look at the 7th house, the 8th house, the rule of the 8th house, and look at the rule of the 8th house, and if it's conjunct Jupiter, or it's opposite Jupiter, or square, I can see this person has or they have a, but that's just a little tidbit. I shouldn't even go there, should I? Let's look at somebody who has Pluto in the 8th house. As I check my chart, Sharon, the rule of your Pluto, the rule of your 8th house has something to do with Jupiter. So does Sheena, and so does Ambi. I think all of you guys have that when you look at your chart. somebody who has Pluto in the 8th house is Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey has, is it? Let me make sure. I like to be completely sure. Look at Oprah Winfrey is a Sagittarius rising. That means her 7th house is in Cancer. I mean, her 7th house is in Gemini, and her 8th house is Cancer. No, she doesn't. She doesn't have Pluto in the 8th house. Here's something else. Take a look at Bruce Lee. Say Stedman. You know, everybody's sort of guessing if she has like a liking for women and men, if they just have gay sex. I don't know. I'm struggling trying to find somebody who has Pluto in the 8th house. I think they're swingers because she has Uranus in the 8th house, not the 7th. She has Uranus in the 8th house, so she could be a swinger. Emancipation from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. It's sort of hard finding somebody who has Pluto in the 8th house. Oh, okay. What was the question? I think so too. It was said that they do that. Heard it before. You know, that Uranus in the 8th house, people would be very freaky. We talked about that when we covered Uranus in the 8th house. All right. So Pluto in the 8th house also can make this person be very investigative. You could be somebody who... I already did Uranus inside the 8th house. So Pluto sitting inside the 8th house can make that person very investigative. They have a penetrating mind. They can see into deeper things. This blesses this person with the innate ability to know things. What I've seen with people with Pluto in the 8th house, they have that have carried in deep state. They go very deep. They also, I've seen people sleepwalk that have Pluto in the 8th house because they go in such a deep state that they are not aware of what they're doing. Pluto in the 8th house can also make this person to be very magnetic and can be all or nothing when it comes to sex. They can also have a very, very powerful sex drive. Very, very powerful. But also, what I've understood is people who have Pluto in the 8th house can also have big boys. Or I'm just giving you a tidbit. Don't share this with nobody. For every man that has there's a woman that has Mandingo. Say tree trunks. If that's what you want to call them. Not an elbow. Not an elbow ambi. A whole. Yeah. They could be knee deep. But, you know, so whenever I'm matchmaking people, I look to figure out if they match physically as well, especially sexually. You cannot overlook being sexually compatible. It's very important. Let's see, it's very hard finding actually people who have Pluto in the 8th house, believe it or not. Third leg. Y'all are very rude. Rude, I say rude. I'm looking and looking. Let me try to find somebody who is sort of. Don't worry, I will find somebody. When I do, you will know. Guess what, dudes? Guess what, y'all? So, I sort of found out why she sort of hooked on Bobby Brown. According to this chart, Bobby Brown has Pluto in the 8th house. I love you, Bobby! So now we understand. Well, Bobby Brown has a penetrating mind as well. So we understand. So Pluto would give him all or nothing when it comes to inheritance. It would make him either care about paying bills or not. It could also make him to be like against banking or all for it. Remember now, Pluto is the planet of all or nothing. It also means that he can have a sort of a deep fascination or obsession with things that are very deep and, esoteric. Pluto brings that sort of energy into the house. Pluto could also make you very controlling over your partner's money. With his Pluto being inside the 8th house, you could tell that he was pretty much, very much controlling over Bobby Brown, over Whitney Houston's money. The 8th house rules your partner's money. Pluto rules possessiveness, obsession, and this brought that. Oh, so I missed it. So they had a very dark sex life. Well, I don't know. See, our representative from TMZ actually, she answered the question. Thank you, Sheena from TMZ. Appreciate that. Yeah, so basically, as you know, Pluto will make that person to be more so somebody who would want to control their partner's money. Just need to know how much money you make. Where you going with that? I need to know. I need to know everything. Everything about your money. Because your money, my money, we partners. So I need to be in control. Let me just make that bank account. I'm going to put it in my name. Let me control this shit. You can have that sort of energy with Pluto sitting in the 8th house. Okay. All right. So, I mean, and yeah, if you look at Ike's chart, you probably see that there. Moving along to, okay, so I'm sure he was disappointed when she died and he didn't get her money. Boom. But then again, who got it? His daughter. And then when she died, who got it? Him. So either which way he controlled it. They could possibly be so. If we look at Ike Turner's chart, that probably would be like that. So we're moving on to the 9th house, since you already got the basic understanding of the 8th house and how it operates. We're going to look at who never seen a dime. Oh, you mean in Tina Turner? No, she never saw a dime at all. We're going to look at Pluto in the 9th house. And what is the 9th house? The 9th house is the house that rules foreign travel, long distance travel, religion, philosophy, law. It also rules dreams and visions, foreign languages, publication, export and import, your in-laws. All of these are located in the 9th house. Oh, and higher education, meaning college. Pluto in the 9th house. With Pluto in the 9th house, you could have a whole lot of different things. College would literally transform your life. Oh, Pluto in the 7th house. Your marriage literally will transform your life. 8th house, other people's money will transform your life. 9th house, Pluto in the 9th house can transform your life. A dream, a vision can transform your life. You travel to another place and it transforms your life. It's like every single thing about the 9th house and Pluto together would be like, whoa, wait. I never knew this. This is, whoa. This is amazing. You know what? I can't go back to being who I am because now my eyes are open. My eyes are open. And Pluto in the 9th house could bring that. Well, obsessed with higher learning, obsessed with either religion, you could be all or nothing with religion. You could be a fanatic of a religious fanatic with Pluto in the 9th house. You could be somebody be like a fatalistic view of how Pluto is, or a very dogmatic when it comes to religion and law. Yeah, so that's what Pluto does. Pluto in the end, when it comes to your in-laws, you could find that your in-laws could be very controlling. Spiritual or religious. Both of them are literally found inside in the 9th house. But, religion is something you study, and spirituality is also there as well. But it's more so focused strongly in the 12th house. But yeah, with Pluto being there, it brings a controlling, a sort of energy of transforming. Remember now, it transforms. It literally transforms. Going to a place, then all of a sudden you're locked up. That transforms your life. And you travel. So if you ever watched Locked Up Abroad, if you probably did that chart, you look at them, you'd be like, 9th house ruler is conjunct Pluto. Or Pluto is in the 9th house. And you'd be like, this nigga, if they didn't know this, if they didn't learn astrology, they didn't know that not to do some dumb shit inside somebody else's country because they're going to get locked up. Yeah, I'm talking to you guys. If you ever tune into this channel, if you ever got locked up abroad, you should have learned astrology. Yeah, of course it would. Scare anybody. So Pluto in the 9th house would have that person to be like that. You can either be all or nothing when it comes to religion. Hold on, let's take a look at John F. Kennedy. Okay, 7, 8, 9, okay. Alright. It's not John F. Kennedy. John F. Kennedy had Pluto in the 10th house. We're going to get to that. Remember now, he died in public. Let's see if it's saying Nicki Minaj has. Maybe I'm going to make sure before I say it. 7, 8, 9. Okay. Let's go on to somebody who you guys probably know. Nicolas Cage, Frank Sinatra, William Shakespeare. Okay. So William Shakespeare had Pluto in the 9th house. The William Shakespeare. The William Shakespeare had Pluto in the sign of Pisces that also is associated with movies and being very much illusionist. Somebody who could, deceive the people. And they said that he probably deceived people when it came to philosophy. But he also helped to change philosophy for a lot of people. Because, like he said, he helped to write, or he helped, even though himself probably couldn't even write or spell. He's responsible for having 55,000 words in the English dictionary. Top that. He literally helped to transform higher education with his Pluto sitting in the 9th house of Pisces. Let's take a look at somebody else who has Pluto in the 9th house. Bernie Sanders, according to this, has Pluto in the 9th house. Let me make sure. 7, 8, 9. No. He doesn't have it there. Bernie Sanders has Pluto in the 9th house, in the 10th house. He probably, if he's not careful, he probably die publicly as well. Are you guys still there? I just want to make sure that you're still tuning in. Okay. All right. Let me go up to the top. Let me look for some. Brad Pitt has Pluto in the 9th. Let me make sure I'm saying this with sense. All right. Glad you guys are still tuned in. Just trying to find one more person to give you an example of Pluto in the 9th house. Seven, 8, 9. No. Not even Clinton. I don't even have to go far to find the 10th house. Pluto 10th house. So Nicki Minaj has Pluto in the 9th house. Nicki Minaj has Pluto in the 9th house in the sign of Libra. And then you say, well, what does... She don't display much of Pluto in the 9th house, does she? Do you feel so? Where was she born? She was born in Trinidad. And she moved, or they were moved to the United States. Literally, her long distance travel transformed her life. Remember I tell you, publications also ruled by the 9th house. Whenever you want to publish something, it's ruled by the 9th house. Well, she started doing mixtapes. Oh, and she was born to a drug-addicted father. Jeez. Wow. fight for control through her artistic endeavors, I would say. If Nicki Minaj was to go back into school, college, and she have all this money, her life would be forever changed. But I don't think she'd do that. I'm calling bluff on her that she won't do that. See what I'm saying? Anyway, we're going to move on to a more exciting one. So anyway, so Pluto in the 9th house. This is true. She's very secretive. Pluto in the 9th house can, like they transform your life, like foreign travel, by religion, philosophy, even your in-laws. We doubt that she probably ever get married, but hey, one can only hope. We're going to move on to Pluto in the 10th house. And what's the 10th house? The 10th house is your status in life, your career, how you're seen in public and society, your business endeavors. It's a house where you can see the traits of your more so dominant parent, mostly your father. And what is Pluto? Pluto is sex, death, regeneration, sense of control. And who do we have here with Pluto in the 10th house? We have a few politicians. We have Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton has 7, 8, 9, 10. She has Pluto in Leo in the 10th house. Pluto in Leo in the 10th house. You know, you'd be like, well, why she didn't win? Because she also has Saturn conjunct Pluto, conjunct Mars in the 10th house. Right. So, yeah, they could be workaholics. Somebody who's obsessed with being in the spotlight and don't stop until they do it. And not only that, they actually are very charismatic and they're seen and magnetic, so they actually draw people to have to want to put them in the forefront, the forefront. Yeah, but I wouldn't say, yeah. So they magnetically drawn towards that. That's what Pluto does. Pluto is a very magnetic planet. Another person that has this is John F. Kennedy. John F. Kennedy also has Pluto in the 10th house. He does. Pluto in the 10th house. How did he die? He died publicly. With who? His wife. Well, his wife didn't die, but he was in the car with her. Yeah, basically it shows that. Another person that has Pluto in the 10th house, well, Pluto can make you also be very much drawn towards being the overall winner. Total control. Another person that has this, or had this, was Grace Kelly. The next person that has this was Robin Williams. Robin Williams had Pluto in the 10th house. He was also a Scorpio rising as well. And his death was basically publicized, wasn't it? It was. Another person that has Pluto in 10th house, Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen DeGeneres has Pluto in the 10th house in the sign of Virgo. You know, she strives to be, yeah, they're very much public. I'm looking for another person that has that. You guys probably know. Who's the activist for that? Oh, yeah, she is. The forerunner of that. Okay. Walt Disney also had Pluto in the 10th house. We all know that his death was basically, public. Everybody at that time of his death basically mourned Walt Disney. Bernie Sanders has Pluto in the 10th house. Pope John Paul II. As I call those names, I guess you could follow their lives and see exactly how they live. But basically, Pluto inside the 10th house can make you to rise and to fall sudden. Rise and to fall. It also brings a sense of fear. So you literally have to, have to lose something. Remember now, Hillary Clinton was underneath pressure for underhand activities with emails. Anything that you do publicly that is not of a benefic nature will be seen and known publicly. There's no hiding that. Pluto, even though it's deep and secretive, at one point it is normally revealed. Trying to figure out some more people who has Pluto in the 10th house. Okay, and also Pluto in the 10th house could also make a person to focus. They can be a very good, strong business person. Another thing about Pluto in the 10th house is a person who could focus on stuff that are very deep. Like they could be a psychologist. Another thing they could be is a surgeon. Whether it be plastic surgeon or like any kind of surgery. This is somebody who can be very, very powerful. They could be a miner. They could be somebody who focuses on the esoteric, deep things, like a detective. All of these that Pluto actually controls will be seen. A person can also be a sex worker as well, believe it or not. Pluto in the 10th house has a lot of possibilities. Let me name somebody else who has Pluto in the 10th house. Ivana Trump has Pluto in the 10th house. Yes, she does. In the 10th house, in the sign of Leo. Remember now, the 10th house is your career. So any planet inside that house can also steer you towards a career that you can be focused on. Any of you guys have a planet inside the 10th house? Just look at that planet and you'll be able to see where you could channel the energy of that planet. We're going to move on to Pluto in the 11th house. We'll move on pretty fast. And Pluto in the 11th house. What is the 11th house? The 11th house is the house of hopes and wishes, your social network, your friends and associates. It represents the internet, your social media, any kind of way that you connect with people on a mass scale. So with Pluto being inside your 11th house, it also rules inventions and stuff like that. You know. So Pluto in your 11th house could mean that you could have very deep, mysterious friends. Also in the 10th house, if Pluto is in your 10th house, you could also have a very secretive or secret job. CIA or connected with the CIA. A lot of people who have Pluto in the 11th house can have very much controlling friends. Very much controlling friends. They can have very secretive and sexual friends. Their hopes and wishes normally becomes their obsession. They can't help but think about what they want to accomplish, and they stick to that, and they focus on that. Most people have Pluto inside it. Also, the 11th house rules like your humanitarian endeavors. And with Pluto sitting inside there in the 11th house, this is somebody who would strive to be the most powerful person when it comes to helping out other people. A person that has Pluto in the 11th house is Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton has Pluto in the 11th house. He also is very adamant about humanitarian efforts. And he won a Nobel Peace Prize based upon that, I think. If my TMZ representative would back me up on that. Eva Longoria has Pluto in the 11th house. Kris Jenner also has Pluto in the 11th house. People have 11th house Pluto also very powerful friends. Very magnetic and powerful friends. Let me name another black person that has Pluto in the 11th house. Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington has Pluto in the 11th house. Or when it comes to politics, you're zipped. Okay. I blame you. Politics is something that can be very touchy to some people. So they all lie. Another person we touched her chart before is Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc had Pluto in the 11th house. And we all know that the same friends, the same associates, the same people who she called her associates, were the same ones that literally turned on her. Pluto in the 11th house can create that sort of thing. You just don't know who to trust, do you? Can you trust your associates? If you're Pluto in the 11th house, you better consider that. Think about that. Pluto in the 11th house can make you to, when it comes to your friends, to me, so be very investigative. You could make a very good investigator when it comes to the internet. No, I don't say gullible. When your focus isn't on a certain thing, and also Pluto in 11th house could also have you to want to die for the mass. You don't care. Kill me for my association, my associates, and the people I'm connected to. Why? I don't care. That's what I'm here for. Pluto, believe it or not, is not the planet of sex and death and regeneration for a reason. I've seen people who have like Pluto in the 11th house who have like swinger relationships with all their friends. They just wanna, yeah, I said it. Anyway, so Pluto in the 11th house can be like that. Say like Will and Jada Smith. You know, I don't see that chart here, so I don't know. Well, yeah. I think that's really, really connected to their 5th and 8th house, though. Any questions on before I move on to the 11th house, to the 12th house, the last house? Say I don't blame them if they are. I want you to believe that Jada and Will Smith are probably going to outlast every single marriage partner that you guys will ever encounter. Why? Because they are open to that. They know the human nature. They know what each other desire. And because they are open towards that and they're not very judgmental, they're going to outlast almost every single celebrity marriage partners. Last but not least, the 12th house. What is the 12th house? Hidden things. It is your unseen, unknown enemy. It is asylums, prisons, and hospitals. It also rules spirituality, the unconscious mind, or what they call the subconscious mind. With Pluto sitting inside the 12th house, 12th house also rules past lives. Okay, you asking what if it's conflicted? What do you mean conflicted? What is conflicted? What is conflicted? So I can understand your question before I'm... I need to know your question. What I was going to say is, so Pluto, sex, death, regeneration, hidden things. I'm going to give you an example of something that could be very extreme. Oh, you have 12th house Pluto? Oh, wow. Oh, you have someone whose Pluto is in the 12th house. These people have they can be very much in Libra. Oh. I mean, if you have somebody with Pluto in the 12th house, it's probably a Scorpio rising, and you have Pluto, that person's Pluto in the sign of Libra, correct? Because Pluto hasn't moved very much far from our generation. So Pluto in the 12th house. No, I'm telling you that's what it is. I'm telling you. You have the luck. I'm telling you that's what it is. Pluto in the 12th house can have somebody to need time alone. Pluto in the 12th house can be very much a person that needs time alone. I'm going to share with you something I read a few years ago. And it is very much accurate. When Pluto is in the 12th house, you are a person who hides your powerful feelings. You like to hide who you really are. You prefer working behind the scenes and like influencing things secretively. You often have a powerful position and gives orders to others behind the scenes. No one will ever truly realize the power you have in the world because you like to hide the influence you have. You have a very secretive nature and you are always hiding from others. You have intense and passionate emotions that you try to hide, and this can lead to secret love affairs. I'm going to read that again. You have intense and passionate emotions and that you try to hide, and this can lead to secret love affairs. You can become obsessed with your romantic feelings and find it hard to concentrate. You can become addicted to your own emotions and develop unhealthy relationships with others that are difficult to end. Hey Kira, thank you for joining in. You are born with psychic ability and a deep understanding about life. You are naturally spiritual and seek time alone to meditate. Write and think about spiritual issues. You can have time where you can deny yourself and give up things for your spiritual path. You have intense sexual desires and may try to become celibate as a test to yourself. You like to push the limits and you enjoy feeling the adrenaline of intense emotional interactions. You are a passionate person and you enjoy risk-taking behavior. But Kira, you don't have Pluto in the 12th house. You are a Cancer rising. You have Pluto somewhere in the 3rd house, I think. I'm reading it like a book. Let's continue. You are a passionate person. You enjoy risk-taking behavior. Curious. You need to be careful about getting involved in drugs or alcohol. You can become addicted easily to substances and find it hard to give them up. What it's saying is that you can have a very much obsessive and addictive nature when it comes to these things. Remember now, the 12 house rules escapisms, like alcohol and drugs. So anybody that has Pluto in the 12th house can become alcoholics. Once they indulge in it, they become alcoholics or drug addicts. Okay. You bottle up your emotions and keep them secret from others. That's a good thing. Which can lead to escapism. So it's saying, normally because you keep things either hidden and you keep it secret, which is ruled by Pluto. Secrecy is ruled by Pluto. It can lead to escapisms, which is ruled by the 12th house. You feel a powerful need to escape from the world into your imagination or through alcohol. You feel anger intensely, and sometimes it turns into a rage that you try to repress and hide. What about indulging in black magic? That is also a possibility of having Pluto in the 12th house. What I've also learned from doing regressions is when I've seen Pluto in the 12th house, this is somebody who had a past life as either a warlock, a witch, or somebody who dabbled in that. You feel anger intensely, you repress, okay. Make sure you learn how to express your powerful emotions in a healthy way, because if not, you could become sick. You will benefit by studying anything spiritual. So the question to give is, it can become addicting because it's an escape. It's an escape or a safe place. Yes. It's where they hide those stuff. Also, good question. Good question. You're right. Your hidden enemies could even become more hidden, and you have powerful hidden enemies. You don't even know. You don't know who these enemies are because they're so powerful and they're hidden from you. Also, you could channel that energy by studying things and going deep into things that are very much spiritual. You need to feel a connection to God, and this is where your wounds begin to heal. Your relationship with your father was possibly strained or non-existent. Yeah, that's possible that you could possibly be indulged. Yes, you're right. Abby, where are you reading this? You sound like you just go deep. I've never shown who don't like me. And when they do me wrong, I'm so shocked because I would have never guessed it would be that person. Years ago. You was a victim of black magic, Sheena? Wow. Boy, you good. Or was your father non-existent? Also, with Pluto being inside there. With Pluto being inside the 12th house, it could also make your father is dead to you. Yeah, so wow, sorry to hear that. The person that's close to you that has Pluto in the 12th house, is their father really truly in their lives, or is it abusive? Wow. Sorry to hear that. Oh, so he literally used to get beat up bad from his father. Okay. Wow. So let me explain something to you guys who have Pluto sitting in the 12th house. With Pluto in the 12th house, in order for you to heal those wounds, in order for that person to heal that wound, they would literally have to seek a spiritual connection in order to heal those wounds. Those inner wounds are very, very deep. Very, very deep. You as well, Sheena. You know, it just goes to show that your father with the energy of your the ultimate, which is ruled by, when you look at ultimate, is Pluto because it needs power, is seeking the creator, the beginning. You understand? And that's what, seeking deeper hidden things that are very spiritual. But repressing your anger and your anger can also be a total extreme and can be an outburst to people. But it also makes you to be someone who. So someone will run. Kira's asking if someone run to church. I wouldn't necessarily say run to church. They could either be all or nothing when it comes to spirituality. The 12th house doesn't really rule churches. But spirituality, in its essence, has nothing to do with religion. Religion has to do with spirituality, but spirituality itself is the bigger picture. The bigger picture. See, dogmatism is ruled by the 9th house and the 10th house, which is structured, ordered religion. The 12th house is totally different. It has to do with spirituality, seeing the bigger picture in almost everything. And so when you have Pluto in the 12th house can also do that. Take in mind with Pluto in the 12th house, remember now, Pluto also rules death and dark, mysterious things. And 12th house rules, okay, sorry. Right, but for those who doesn't know spirituality, it's separate. We run to those common. Yes. Yeah. Eventually they go out of that because Pluto doesn't want to be caged in. It seeks the ultimate. And religion only takes them so far. But that's the only thing if that's somebody who actually, go that's the place to start. But it isn't the ending. So they literally want to go all or nothing. So Pluto in the 12th house brings that energy. I hope I was very much informative of the planets, the planets in the houses. We're going to do one asteroid before you get your final exam for the semester. We can do one review, and that would be, well, not one review. We got to do 2 reviews. So this week or tomorrow and next week, we're doing a review. Okay? Of all the planets, the energy is not in every house because you guys got to do that research on your own. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys. You are very, very much. You interact, Thank you, Kira, for joining us today. I know you have a busy schedule at work or working and with the kids. Thank you for joining in. Oh, yes, celebrities that have Pluto in the 12th house. I'm going to give you somebody who has Pluto in the 12th house, but he was very notorious. Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy, the famous serial killer, had Pluto in the 10th house. The 12th house. In the sign of Leo. Now he hid the people in his freezer. Hidden things. Leo. He was also known to be one of the most, Ted Bundy never really displayed anger. Never. He's never displayed anger. Suppressed it. But this Pluto was retrograde, so. Yeah, Ted Bundy killed, like, many people. He was a serial killer. Ted Bundy is the ultimate repression of anger expressed in a very, very wrong way. I'll give you another person that has Yeah, he's pretty much very psycho. Let me give you another person that has that. Believe it or not. O.J. Simpson. Well, no. He didn't have that. Sorry. Yeah, Pluto in the first house. I'm going to give you one more person. I know you guys is like, what? OJ, I knew it. No, it's not him. You know, I gotta look to see if he's there. There's a whole list of people. I'm gonna see if Marilyn Manson was there. I'm looking. So I can make sure I find somebody who everybody knows. Oh, that was something. Looking before we go. And I'm gonna find somebody. Ted Cruz. Okay, I'm gonna look back at this person. I just passed them, but I think I'm gonna take a look at this person. I think you guys know him. Another person had Pluto in. Oh, it can't be him either. Rockefeller had it in the first house. One more person, like I said, let me take a look. I think I passed somebody who you guys know. So Ted Bundy. Guess who also had 10th house? We want to make sure before I even mention it. Another person, Tina Turner had Pluto in the first house. Not Tina Turner. Now I was going to say Tina Turner, but she doesn't. This person has Pluto in the 10th house. 12th house. Steve Jobs had Pluto in the 12th house. Madonna also has Pluto in the 12th house. But I'm going to touch on somebody who has Pluto in the 12th house for you guys. No, well, he has Pluto in the first house. All these people have Pluto in the first house, making it look as if they have Pluto in the 12th house. Marilyn Monroe had Pluto in the 12th house. Remember, she didn't even have a father in her life. She was also very addicted to alcohol. She was an alcoholic. The question is, no, my Pluto is not in my 12th house. Pluto is in my 3rd house. Kira asks the questions. Do you think that they turn their obsessiveness into their jobs or career if they aren't crazy? I think think so, but Steve Jobs also had a lot of powerful enemies as well. Good memory, Abby. Yeah, and they could be very dark and quiet, but you're right. I agree with that. Who's the person we're looking at? So Marilyn Monroe had also Pluto in the 12th house. And as you all know, she repressed a lot of anger. She had a lot of secret enemies as well. Powerful secret enemies. I know you're pretty quiet as well. Just don't ever start drinking alcohol. Yeah, very sensual and was very hated. Remember now. After she started going with the president, Mr. President, that's when she literally got on the radar and became very much somebody who was targeted by secret enemies. So that being said, with Pluto in the 12th house, in the houses actually, take a look at where Pluto is in your chart. Kira, I think I'm going to look at your chart to find out exactly where your Pluto is. I can't remember exactly where it is. Serrano is in her second house. Ambion is in her. Pluto is in Ambi's fourth house. Let me see where Kira is. Your own is. Oh, yours is in your fourth house. So you and Ambi experienced a loss of your mom dying, correct? Both of you, don't you find it to be ironic that the both of you have fourth house Pluto, and the both of you lost your mom? Wow. Remember now, Pluto is the planet that expresses loss. That is something that you both share. Yeah. Because you like ice cream. You can't lose your belly fat because you like ice cream. So anyway. Yeah. So as you can see, I lost my sister. Yeah. Q is a real clown as well. Where did she get? Where did she go into the coma? Did she go into a coma at home or in the hospital? All right. Okay, guys. It's been wonderful tuning in with you guys, but I also practice. You guys can start talking inside the Astro group. Yeah, like I said, my condolences to both of you. The loss of your moms. I need for you to look over all of the planets in the houses. Let me know what you look at in correlation to your charts. Okay? You just miss it on all the classes, Kira. We just have awesome class. No problem. You know, like I told you guys, this is the best tool you could ever have is astrology to guide you and help you to understand even your children. Enjoy the rest of your night. And good night. See you tomorrow. And wait, we could talk in the class, in the WhatsApp group. Yes, please come again, Kira. Yes. So go inside the Astro. We can continue talking in the Astro group. Y'all don't even use the group. Y'all don't use the chat. I put y'all in there and y'all don't even talk. I guess you guys be so busy. But anyway, that's okay. Enjoy the rest of your evening.